Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Football Manager 2023 with me, your host Dean, or KJM, whichever you prefer. We have landed ourselves a job in nation number 15, which is Israel. We are now the manager of Hapoel Ironi Kiryat Shmona, if that's the correct way of pronouncing it. Haven't had to wait too long since we've won the title there over in Sweden with IFK Goteborg. Not too long at all. The lads in Sweden, they're not even back for pre-season yet. Because we've gone from a winter league to from a summer league to a winter league, though, we are halfway through the season here in Israel with Kiryat Shmona. So in a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate, Dean Talentire has left IFK Goteborg to join Kiryat Shmona. Talentire arrives with a record of 738 wins, 176 draws and 219 defeats in his career. He's also won 16 league titles and 13 cups. My first game in charge will be against Hapoel Haifa in the Premier League on the 28th of December. I'm not entirely sure what the date is at the minute, but 28th of December, like I say, we're already halfway through the season. So Talentire will face pressure to bring immediate success to the municipal stadium of Kiryat Shmona, having stepped up from his previous standing to take sole charge, and will need to hit the ground running if he's to win over those who believe his appointment is a questionable decision. So despite the fact that we've won the league title in 14 different nations, and we've also won the European Championships with Northern Ireland, where it's still a questionable appointment apparently. But Omar Mizrahi Gross was considered to be the favourite for the job, but it's unclear whether the club favoured Talentire all along. Obviously Goteborg will now be looking for a new manager. But Talentire, an Irish Champions Cup winner with Bohemians all those years ago, brings a wealth of experience with him. He's earned himself a reputation for signing players under the age of 23 and appears to be a great fit for the current vision at the municipal stadium. Still says I prefer a 4-4-2. We've been using a 4-3-3 for quite a number of years now. But Kiryat Shmona occupy a disappointing 11th place in the Premier League table, but a 5-match unbeaten league run has shown some improvement, which is good. 5-match unbeaten, there is a bit of improvement there. The club was only founded in the year 2000, so it's a millennial. £67,000 wage budget. They are previous champions of Israel as well as recently as 2032, so 20 years ago. It's a club which has enjoyed its best spell of success during the 2010s and the last competition win as recently as 2048, so only 4 years ago. Kiryat Shmona are a club with a growing history. They won the Israeli top division in 2012 and 2032 and runners up once. Won the State Cup in 2014 and finished second best 2 further times. We won the Israeli second tier in 2007 and 2010. Won the Israeli third tier for only time in 2001 and finished runners up once. In terms of the squad, top goal scorer is Krumer. He is an inside forward. He doesn't look too bad, really, does he? He's got some great physicals. We're obviously going to go through the squad first, but the club expect us to reach a mid-table finish. So, obviously we're not relegation threatened. Hopefully, I did have a quick look over the league table before I joined, and we do have a little bit of a gap to the bottom of the table. So here we are. Kiryat Shmona in Israel, a new nation for me. The club's got a good academy, which is good, some good facilities. We are heavily in debt, unfortunately. We're also over the wage budget, again, unfortunately. In terms of our key player, it's considered to be Nadir Hadari. He is a central midfielder, deep line playmaker. Potential there to be a segundo volante for us in our system. Unfortunately, he does lack consistency, but he's not played too bad this season. Been at the club for a little while now, the 22-year-old Israeli. Hot prospect. Again, hot prospect's not the greatest. He's got a lot of potential, which is great. Like I say, financially we are in the hole about £2 million. We're over our wage budget ever so slightly, which is not good. In terms of the squad itself, the best player at the club is Nadir Hadari. I beg your pardon. We've got a good sort of core there of players who it considers to be decent. The assistant manager there, they're on a lot of money though. Some of them I've just noticed they're $5,500 a week for Sayam, who is he's okay, I suppose. He's okay. Is considered to be a leading player for most Premier Division sides, so there is potential there. In terms of goals this season, it is joint between Juan Ruiz and Zakaria Kruma, both with 3 goals. 3 in 13 is not great, is it? And 3 in 6 starts, not too bad for a striker. Is Argentinian. He's not very good though, is he? His physicals are a bit poor, but he is actually considered to be a good player for most Premier League sides. So we have actually taken, by the looks of it, a step down in quality. Now, there is a rule in Israel in terms of squad registration rules regarding foreigners. What is that? Palestinians are not considered foreigners in the Football Manager world, apparently, but it's not EU at all. Anybody outside of Israel is considered a foreigner. Obviously, we'll have a look at that now. We'll have a look at the rules. So there's a total of 33 to 36 games. The league splits in 2 after 26 games. I'm not too sure. I did have a quick look at this, but that looks like it happens before the actual league table starts. The Championship group and the relegation group. We'll see how that works out. But there must be no more than 5 foreign players in the playing 11. So we have to have at least 6 Israelis in the starting in the team on the pitch. Under 19 players are automatically eligible, which is good. Players under 16 are not allowed to play. And in terms of actual registration rules, teams registering 5 or few foreign players in the squad will be awarded some money at the end of the season. But I did say, there we go, squad registration, maximum of 6 foreign players. So I'm only actually allowed to register 6 players from outside of Israel. In terms of the league table, though, 14 games played, 15 points on the board with a 0 goal difference. We are 7 points clear of the bottom 2, which is good. But with, Maccabi Tel Aviv have already doubled our points total. They're currently undefeated, which is, a good place to start. Who did it say we were playing first? Hapoel Haifa, who are currently in 3rd place. So that's going to be difficult. It's only 2 days away. So I'm gonna give myself a quick look around the squad, guys. Get the tactics set up. We've not too bad really in terms of form lately. It's not been that bad, has it? Really? And we did actually beat Hapoel Tel Aviv 2-0 earlier on in the season. So, oh no, we're not playing Hapoel Tel Aviv. This is what I meant last episode. There's so many Hapoels and Maccabis in Israel. I'm going to get confused quite regularly with them. As far as Hapoel Haifa is concerned, we did actually beat them as well. We beat them 1-0 away from home. So hopefully we can beat them at home as well and get off to a flyer here in Israel. But like I say, guys, I'm going to go through the squad. I'm going to get the tactics set up, stuff like that, have a look at the staff, anything like that, figure out when the transfer window is and stuff like that. And I'll come back in a minute and we'll knock off our first game in charge in Israel. Right, guys, welcome back. We've gone through those 2 days. We're here for our first game in charge in Israel, taking on Hapoel Haifa. Not expecting too much from today's game. They are 3rd place in the table, 9 points in front of us. I've also managed to reduce the wage budget drastically. There was a lot of players here with, considered to have no ability compared to the rest of our squad, who were just sat here with no contracts, earning a wage. So I've released them all. There's also a lot of players who are not registered, and obviously I can't register them outside of a transfer window. Some of them I'd like to maybe keep around, so that, Mohamed Khatib's got a fair bit of ability. He could be retrained as a deeper sort of player, defensive midfielder. The Tabul in central defence is not too bad either. But we'll see what happens. The transfer window does open on the 3rd of January, so I am going to have a look around. Now, I don't have any transfer budget. We're obviously massively in debt. But I have freed up 5k in the wage budget, so I might be able to bring 1 or 2 players in. I did have a look at the season preview as well. The club itself is massively underachieving. We're actually predicted to finish in 5th position at 26s. There you can see all on the screen, all the players who I've just released from the squad. They've all just gone out on a free. Sat here with no contracts, just earning a living. Not registered, nothing. So, yeah, we're predicted to finish in 5th place, which, for me, that we've won leagues from that position before. So why are we down in 11th place? Well, obviously, we're here in Israel to change all of that. And if we can pick up a result today, we're not going to win the league this season. It's probably next season. I would put money on it being next season. But today's opponent's Hapoel Haifa, currently sat in 3rd place at 201s. So we are heavy favourites for this game, or indeed we should be heavy favourites for this game. Israel never managed here before. Don't know anything about the players, the league, anything like that. I'm just hoping that we can knock it off and get into our next nation, which I believe was Croatia. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was Croatia. So this is the lineup that we're going to go with for today. I'm going to have to make a couple of changes here because I've got some very slight injuries tomorrow and tomorrow. No, they'll be absolutely fine. Now, what I have done is what I usually do when I come to a new club is I pick my formation and I ask the assistant to pick the best possible 11. He's done that. He did pick some of the ineligible players, obviously because it's unrestricted. So I've changed them around. Nadir Hadari, who is considered to be the best player at the club, I have got him training now to be a Segundo Volante, so he's playing there today. Hopefully he can pick that up pretty quickly. But in terms of the lineup, it's going to be Yasser Alati starting in goal. He looks reasonably decent. 129 games for the club, 107 conceded. Only conceded 16-13 this season with 7 clean sheets. So that's pretty good to be going on with, isn't it? His contract does expire at the end of the season though, so I may have to have a look into that. At right back, it is going to be Zaki Navon. Not the greatest of players. This is definitely an area for improvement. I haven't even been through and done all of the player training yet. They're all on half intensity and stuff like that. That's something that I need to do. So there's an area of improvement straight away. Right wing back. Azulai, central defender, looks reasonably decent. Quite happy with that. He can definitely earn his place in the squad. You know, he's fairly decent. Kayal alongside of him. Isi Kayal, again, reasonably decent. Good physicals, good mentals. Determination's really good. Defensively, he's not too bad. Passing's a little bit low for a ball-playing defender, which is what we play on. But, you know, we can build on that. Uzan as the left fullback. Again, another shocking fullback. Maybe not the best. Might look to move him on. 17 years old though, he's got loads of potential. So we do have a youth player in the starting lineup. Defensive midfield for today is going to be Sayam. Now, he doesn't look too bad as a defensive midfielder. In fact, he looks reasonably decent as a defensive midfielder. To be perfectly honest, he's on a lot of money though. 5.5k a week is probably far too much. Ilay Atia, as one of the Segundo Volantes for today, can also play as a right back if needs be. Segundo Volante on attack is not too bad. He can't finish though. He's got no composure, but everything else looks okay. So he may end up moving into the right back position if we can bring another Segundo Volante in. Obviously, like I say, I do need to have a proper look through the squad and figure it out. But I always just, assistant manager, pick my first squad for me and then I build it from there. Nadir Hadari, we've already spoken about him. He's going to Segundo Volante. Left-hand side is going to be Zakaria Krumer, the top scorer at the club. Inside forward on the left-hand side. He's got a reasonable right foot, which is good. He's got some okay attributes for his position inside forward. Another one who can't finish though, but his physicals are absolutely great. He's really quick, which is good. 23-year-old Israeli. Kamis on the right-hand side, Mahmoud Kamis. Again, not too bad. This one can finish. He's also got reasonable pace. His long shots are shocking, but anticipation is also pretty poor. But he's another one who's a young man. He's on, really low wages, loads of potential. So he is going to start today. And then up top, it's going to be Josu Romero, one of our foreigners, our Spaniard in the squad. Expecting big things from him. Hopefully he can bag a few goals because he's only got none. He's only got none. He hasn't scored yet this season. He's got 1 in 25 for the club and 52 in 231 in his career. So it's less than 1 in 4 for the 27-year-old Spaniard. But hopefully in our system, he can bag a few goals. So that's the lineup for today, guys. Hopefully, like I say, we can get off to a flyer here in Israel and pick up a win here. Let's aim for that mid-table today. Maybe try and push sort of the top 4 positions if we can. We're only 8 points off it in Maccabi Haifa. Be great if we could get up there. But it is going to take some work. Obviously, the transfer window coming up where I've got no finances whatsoever. I'm just hoping I can free up some more wage budget, maybe shift a couple of players on. get some finances through the door. The club, £2 million in debt. We've got no transfer budget. We do have our first highlight, though, and it's inside the first 2 minutes, and it's a corner towards that near post, but it is headed clear. Kruma is going to pick it up. Finds Azulai. Kayal comes back to Sayam. Back on the right-hand side to Navon. Now Azulai again. Kamis looking for that far post, and Kruma, who heads it just wide of the post. Almost off to a flyer there in the Israeli Premier Division. I'll have to have a look at what it's actually called. Sayam, ball inside. Nadir Hadari, the best player at the club, has just completely missed the ball. And here come Hapoel Haifa with Shai on the right-hand side. Checks back, finds Ant-Man inside, and they're still going. Kayal makes a really good challenge. I was half expecting a penalty there, but plays it inside dangerously to Uzan, who's forced to just hack it away. Now, Raffaelli comes forward, and again Uzan goes diving in. This time it is a penalty. The tackle looked exactly the same as the first one by Kayal. One's a penalty, one's not. Work that one out. A bit of consistency, please. Sports Interactive with how the match highlights look, because they looked identical to me. It is shy from the penalty spot, though. It's a shocking penalty. It's straight at Talati, and vindicated. We're vindicated there. I didn't think it was a penalty. Corner again. Kamis to take it towards that near post. It's flicked on at the near post. Unfortunately, it has gone just over the bar. Right, we're getting into the last 10 minutes of the first half now, and it is Kiryat with the ball again. It's Uzan feeding it forward towards Kroma. Gets there. Crosses blocked, though. Ant-Man, it's poor clearance straight to Kamis. Sharabi had to be on his toes there to keep that header out. And he's looked for his attackers straight away, but Azulai wins the aerial duel. Azulai bringing the ball forward now. Finds Sayam. Forward to Nadir Hadari. He's in. Can he get his effort away? He's just chipped it up into the goalkeeper's hands. Finishing is woeful, absolutely woeful, and it needs to get better, really, doesn't it, if we're going to move up this league table. It's been an encouraging start, though. We're getting into the positions to have these efforts, which is good. It's just the finishing needs to be a little bit better. Now, I do have one of the midfielders here who is extremely tired, and it is Atia. Let's have a look and see what we've got for a replacement. We've got Salama. Can he play as a segundo volante? Let's have a look. No, not really. What about midfield wise? What do we have here? He looks better. I think. Al-Shawawa. He's probably the best of the bad bunch, Al-Shawawa. So we'll get him on for Atia. Get some fresh legs on. Atia looks really, really tired. Much better. Second half, please, boys. You're doing well getting into the positions, but we need to hit the target a bit more. We need to make the goalkeeper do some work. And here is the new man, Al-Shawar, feeding Kamis. This is the opportunity, and he's struck the post. The finishing again lets us down. Romero's not really playing very well up top, is he? On a 6.4. We do have Juan Ruiz on the bench. Let's get Juan on, the Argentine, see if he can at least work the goalkeeper a bit more. But with half an hour remaining in our opening fixture here in Israel, we are the better team. We're having much more of the ball, of the shots. We just haven't found the back of the net, unfortunately, and that's going to obviously play a vital role. Kruma is having a shocker on the left-hand side. So we'll get him off. We'll get Ironi on. 5 minutes to grab a winner if we can. Would be great, boys. Come on. Only hit the target 3 times. Not a single shot on target in the second half. There we go. We finally registered one in injury time. Well, I think we played better. We've a lot more passes. We more tackles won, headers won. More of the ball, more shots, but 0-0. 0-0, and our goalkeepers actually picked up the Man of the Match award somehow. Their strikers had an absolute shocker as well. 0-0. It's unbeaten. We're unbeaten. That makes it 6 unbeaten now for the club in total. We need to push on up that league table, though. We really do, especially if these teams are going to be winning. we're now chasing down Hapoel Haifa, Maccabi Haifa up there as well. They did lose today as well, so we've missed an opportunity there, really, unless the Maccabi Haifa job's going to come available. That would be good, wouldn't it? I wonder if he's... what's his job security? Let's just filter this for Israel. He is stable. Right, guys. Israel. Here we are. Kiryat Shmona. Like I say, we've got a fairly decent squad according to the media. We should be doing better than we are. Hopefully we can get us there by the end of the season. I am going to play through to the end of the season though, guys. Obviously, it's what we do when we come through halfway through a season. I do have January transfer windows to go through, so I'm going to see if I can work my magic there. Bit of wheeling and dealing. And we'll come back. Next episode, be at the end of the season. We'll do the last game of the season. I've just noticed there that we've actually drawn 10 out of our 15 games this season. So it just shows you that finishing is not great. How many goals have we actually scored? We conceded 6. We've scored 6. We've scored 6 goals in 15 games. Wow. That is appalling. That is absolutely appalling. I need to work on that, and I'm going to do that, and we'll come back on the last day of the season, which is against SC Ashdod, who are currently just below us in the table. But we'll have a progress report. In fact, that might not be the last game of the season because the league does split, doesn't it? We'll come back and do that one anyway, and then we'll see what happens when the league splits. But guys, thank you very much, as always, for watching. I will see you all in the next episode. Please remember to hit that thumbs up button for me and the subscribe button as well. All of it helps me out massively. Also, if you want to follow me over on Twitter as well, go and give me a follow over there. But yeah, guys, Israel, nation number 15, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers, guys.